Okay, let's see if we can figure out WSL. It might take a while to install, but I can pause and do other cool things. So, I was thinking about kind of the last video, I didn't say something was exactly correct. So WSL is like a Linux kernel. Macs use something slightly different, but for 90% of what you do, we'll say it's the same. So I'm just going to Google how to install WSL2 on Windows 11. Copy. Oops, I got to run it as administrator. Forgot about that. Yeah, you got to do that. We'll run as administrator if you want it to work. So I can't record or reboot, but let me reboot and then I'll be back. Okay. That took like 5 minutes to reboot. I had something in my eye. WSL update. Okay, we did that. This is the command we gotta do now. So look, we can copy and paste. And what do you want to install? How about 2404? Does that work? So once that's done, I'll get like another little icon. Actually, it's going pretty fast. I'll get another little icon down here with Ubuntu, and I can install it, update it, and it'll be just like regular old-fashioned, Linux machine. I have like 3 Linux machines around me I use all the time. This is just a different way to do it. In theory, I would say probably 3 to 5% maybe slower, but 99% of the time, hypervisors come already in a VM. I'm in like a virtual environment. You can't install a virtual environment in a virtual environment, like inception time. So, but yeah, that's how you do it. I probably could install the software on my real Windows machine and do it that way, but I'm just not going to do that. So there you go. So that's how you use it. It works great. I recommend, I use a WSL, sorry. Why I said VSL. I use WSL when I'm on a Windows machine a lot, I guess. On a Windows machine, I tend to use more of the GUIs like VS Code, anti-gravity. If you want, we can install anti-gravity real quick. I just saw that, anti-gravity, Google. I showed people on the Mac how to do it. It's pretty much the same thing. But, it's, like I said, on the Windows side, I tend to use more VS Code, anti-gravity, things like that. On the Macintosh side or Linux side tend to use terminal more, but that's just the way I am. It doesn't really matter. As long as you can get to Hugging Face, as long as you get code done, as long as you get work done, it doesn't really matter. Just whatever's most comfortable for you. So let me install this. It is installing, right? I thought I clicked on it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, my machine is just absolutely slammed because I'm encoding videos. If you remember, you have to use your UNLV account. I think that works. Your Nevada.edu account does not work. Never go away. Send me a push. Lucky number 1. I shouldn't have done that. I might have to re-off on this. Yep, I should have had a profile set up already, but let me close out of this and go anti-gravity. Oh. Now that I'm signed in, it should work much quicker, much easier. The nice thing about anti-gravity, I said this on the Mac video too, is that it's an integrated solution, so it already has kind of an LLM, it's got a coding assistant, and everything's kind of built in, which makes it really nice. I mean, it makes life a little bit easier if you're just getting started out. Anti-gravity, I've used it, I like it. Google is, I hate to say it, maybe not winning the race on AI, but so they're willing to give you a little bit more for free than a lot of other, OpenAI and Claude and things like that. So that's good, and like I said, this is a beautiful product. I mean, I really do like it. So try it out. So how do I make a Hugging Face? If I can type Hugging Face program that is like a simple Pac-Man, and so it's going to start working on that, and there you go.